Sometimes it is just too much.
So embarrassed.
Am I just talking too much?
I don't remember any of that.
There's a lot I don't remember, too. Too much information.
We say that after every one of these, and for some reason, we're employed all the time.
Too much, it's ruined.
I can't believe we have a show.
We might not tomorrow.
Stacey and Hutch say too much.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's go.
It is time for Stacey and Hutch Say Too Much. Stacey's out, but Alex is here, and super stoked to be talking to Greg from Tokyo Police Club. Greg is with us. Hey, Greg.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Real quick, what's that instrument behind you that has the is it 4 strings? Looks like a big old violin. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a big old bass guitar. It's like one of those Paul McCartney style bass guitars that I got in high school. So it was actually my sister's, and I stole it from her because she stopped playing. So
oh, really?
I inherited it. Yeah.
And look where it got you. Look where it got you.
Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Does she still tease you about that? Be like, you stole that from me. That's still mine.
Yeah. It's I'll leave it to her in my will, back to her. Yeah.
Perfect. It's good to have you on with us. There's so much about you guys that I wish we could get in just the short time we have, but we can't. But, let's just talk about the tour really quick here. You guys are doing your final tour. And what led to that decision?
We've been doing it forever. Or what feels like forever. Like the very first day of our very first tour ever, I turned 21 years old. And I'm almost 40 now. I've got 2 kids. Everyone's, at that stage of life where you can't just go away and be on the road endlessly anymore. So it just felt like a good time to say, you know what, let's do it on our terms rather than just kind of fade away.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm curious with that. So if you had to put a percentage on it, what's the chance that this tour just continues to go well and then you guys decide, you know what, let's take another stab at it. Let's just keep going after it.
January 1st, we're out there again,
That's exactly. You just go, why are we doing this? Let's just keep it going.
You feel that, but it's been amazing to have the outpouring of fans, sending love and just what the band's meant to them over these years, what the music has meant to them. And with these first few shows that we've kind of done over the summer, the crowds have been insane. It's just been incredible to see people come out, and it's been really emotional, but good energy, a really positive energy.
Where do you guys go after that when that happens? Have you determined the latter half of the career? I'm 42 and
Mm-hmm.
you kind of go, man, this aspect that I've known for most of my life is ending per se, but obviously you're still creating and still doing stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's still got musical projects. I know Dave's working on some solo stuff. Graham's always had a band. I do music for kids shows. So there's always a creative part of it. And I'm sure at some point, a couple of years down the line, we'll be like, we really miss this and we want to get back together and do it together.
Let's get back together.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no bad blood or anything. It's not nothing is, there's no animosity. It just, sometimes it's just time and, the love is still there.
And I think that goes with how often do you hear stories about you wait until things just kind of crumble, but doing it on your terms kind of gives the ability to maybe at a later date be like, hey, you know what, let's string a couple of shows together because we miss it, and leaving doing things on good terms and having your own projects to do might just, kind of keep the band actually closer over the years. At least that's how I kind of see a lot of things kind of turn out.
Yeah, I think so. It's you want it to be something that you look forward to doing. You never want to feel like it's a chore to go back on the road or to go back in the studio together. And if it starts to feel like that, then it all suffers. The shows suffer, the music suffers. And thankfully, we've never had that. We've never not wanted to make an album together. We've never not wanted to go do a tour together. There's moments where you're exhausted when it's the 3.5 week out and you're just okay, here we go. Let's do it again. But, the end of the night, when the show goes well and you see the people afterwards at the merch table saying how much it's meant to them, it all makes it worthwhile.
Let's talk about that the last 19 years or so, more than that possibly. Your first, after your show, when you were in your 20s, what did you do compared to what you do now after the show at 40? What's the big difference there?
So, Okay, I remember. I think this happened not the last time. It was in 2010 when we were playing the Varsity. We were on a bus and we had finished the show and we were hanging out on the bus and we saw there was there's something down the street going on, like an open mic night,
Yeah.
and all of us and our crew like went out to go check it out. And we ended up taking over this open mic night, playing nothing but Third Eye Blind covers, but very drunkenly. We like nicked it. We like signed up as Jumper, and we're the Third Eye Blind cover band. And it was just like
That's
banging
cool.
on like a bar, like hitting the bar stool. And now it's like we'd be the ones going like, okay, let's grab a
time.
pizza and go to sleep. Yeah, is it 10 p.m. yet? Okay, it's 10 p.m. yet.
I
Yeah.
just picture you going, I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You know,
Yeah.
and doing a poetic reading of
Yeah.
their songs. That's funny. You know, when it comes to coming to our area and Minneapolis, and obviously the Varsity, our area, as you know, is
Mhm.
I don't even know how to explain it to someone. You know, Alex moved here from Boston almost a year ago, actually today, and he talked about how big the music scene is out here and how important it is to developing artists as well. What does
Yeah.
this area mean to you and your band, of course?
Oh, I mean, we've always had amazing shows there. Like, there's such rich musical history there. You know,
Mhm.
like it's cool to go to a place that is, you know, it's not Chicago, it's not New York, it's not LA, but there's a huge arts and culture there. Like, it's people really care about the local bands, local scenes, and the audiences come out and they have a crazy time when they do. So I don't know. It's always been good coming back there.
I've found it better than Boston, to be honest. I forgot Minnesota existed before I moved here. And I came here, and luckily, I decided to transfer over from news into music, and I get to go to a lot of these shows. And I've found it to be better environments here than like the big cities on the East Coast sometimes.
Yeah, like I mean, especially I lived in Boston for a year as well. I was living in like Cambridge for a year, about 10 years ago, and yeah, there's like I think like everyone in Boston is there because you know they're there for a reason. They're there for work. They're there to go to school. Like there's so many students there, and everyone's mind is just like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go have like a night out, but you know, I'm really here to like study. I got to get up for a pre-med exam the next day or something. But I feel like with like Minneapolis, like that's their home, that's their like town, and so when people come out there, it's like, no, I'm showing up. And yeah, it's really different that way. Graham just came on. Hey, Graham.
Graham just joined us. Graham, we have something in common. Alex, can you put your camera outside to show the wall? Graham and I, we have the same studio setup, I believe, Graham, at your house compared to our red wall too.
Yeah. Beautiful. Synergy.
Yeah, it is. But man, we were just talking about your last tour and how important it is for you guys and how the fans have just kind of been with you guys for quite a while now. What's this feeling and this energy like on this last tour, and how emotional is it for you guys?
Well, it hasn't started being that emotional yet. As far as
Got a bit of a delay, Graham. You keep pausing. There's a second when they panned over to the studio, and you just looked like
pause for effect.
Now just do this. Yeah. So the emotion hasn't started yet.
Yeah. The summer shows were not quite a tour, you know, they were sort of one and then a few days or a few weeks and then another one. And so you're so caught up in the travel whirlwind, the novelty of being in yet another city and yet another time zone for playing on yet another set of rented equipment that I found that I'm just sort of like, you're just doing, like, I'm so consumed doing it, which is something that we've all been doing for almost 20 years, that I forget about the emotion. I forget about the exceptionality of it. But I think that once we're literally rolling one day after another on the tour itself, at some point, I assume the emotions will start to come knocking.
How do you guys pick the last 4 dates of your show and where you play them? What's the significance behind that?
With Toronto there? Yeah. That's hometown. That's hometown for us. Like, we all grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, and so those shows went on sale first. It was just kind of that first one, that very last one. We were like, okay, let's choose one last show at a cool venue, see who comes out, and then that show sold out in a day or two, and then we were like, okay, let's try adding another one. And thankfully our agent had the foresight to hold a few dates just in case something cool like that happened, and we did it. So that kind of just launched this whole thing. It went from one last show to a year of shows. Yeah,
I mean, you got 4 that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that's just going to be so exhausting, especially when you get to that Friday and it's your last one. I mean, the emotions are going to be high on that.
it's going to be wild. Yeah, we can't even, I can't put my mind there yet, but yeah, I'll that's when I'll order the pizza at 10 p.m. and go home.
I think you should go down the street and do, some drunk Third Eye Blind again.
There it is.
I think you should
Just
just
for revival. That's what they want. That's our career after this. People need a Third Eye Blind cover band.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, that story is just kind of crazy. What's one of both of you guys, you can answer, what your favorite story on the road that you've had and that maybe you were just like, I can't believe we got to do this or did this,
Go ahead, Graham. Do you have something?
My favorite story. I mean, it's for me.
I'd say for me.
There's a good amount of filtering going on.
Yeah, I know.
Now.
They're thinking in their heads, what can we tell?
That one side.
I think my delay is just causing problems.
Okay. No, you're good.
See,
Yeah,
you
it's
just
like,
put them in the most difficult spot possible.
Great
Hutch.
question, though. I got to hear it.
it's like, why did we, buying a used van in New Jersey and trying to bring it back?
Oh man.
Sorry, Greg.
This is so. It's good on our end, but I think Greg has a delay too, and then it's whatever. Greg,
You're
your
not
story.
going to get what you want here,
Yeah,
Hutch.
I know.
You're not.
He was talking about the used van you guys bought.
Oh, the van? Oh man. Oh, when we went to. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah. We so we were driving. This was like the day before. We were supposed to play main stage in Lollapalooza. We were opening main stage at like noon, and we were driving through Tennessee, and I was behind the wheel, and I remember just feeling like the car's not accelerating, and it's not really braking well either. And so we eventually kind of like got it to slow down on its own, coast into neutral, go over to the side of the road, and got out and like looked around, and we saw that our tire on the passenger side had just like ground itself off of the axle, and it was just spinning on itself like a donut on a pencil. And so we were like, okay, well, we survived that, but this van isn't going anywhere. So we walked over to a Comfort Inn that was about a mile off the highway, called a tow truck to be like, can you guys like come fix our van? They looked and they're like, this van is not going anywhere. So we had to rent 2 tiny SUVs, try and fit all of our gear and our like trailer into that. Drove overnight from about 9 p.m. onwards from Murfreesboro, Tennessee to Chicago. Made it at 11 a.m. to Lollapalooza, loaded directly onto the main stage, played our set, and then went to bed right afterwards.
Jeez.
Said a prayer saying thank you for getting through that little Miss Sunshine moment that you guys had.
Graham, when it comes to life after touring and when it comes to doing kind of your own thing, what are you most excited for? What are you looking forward to?
I'm excited to just be in one place. That's the only thing I know. And my friends just got engaged, and they were telling me about all the fun parties and celebrations they're going to be having over the next weeks and months to celebrate. And all it's going to be so beautiful. There's kids around, all these people I love that I see a lot and that I haven't seen in years are going to be there, and I will not be there. I'm already begging off social engagements for the next 3 months. And it's been a long time since we were gone this much, and I'd forgotten how much you miss when you're away. Yeah. And you obviously when you're out, you're having amazing experiences that only you and the other guys in the bus get to have. But your life is happening at home, and like your family's life is happening at home. And the weather is changing. You're always touring in the goddamn fall, which means I miss the only good season in Toronto. Because I'm in like Austin, Texas, sweating my head off. Toronto, it's like crisp 6 degrees, and I see it on Instagram. So just like living a life in a straight line, in a continuum, is something that we got to sort of have a half tantalizing preview of during like lockdown. That wasn't exactly normal, but we were centralized, and it really agreed with me. I was like, oh, hang on, maybe this isn't so bad, such a bad way to live. So, I mean, that's kind of, at least in the immediate term, I can't wait to wake up in the same city every day.
That's going to be so lovely for all of you until 2 years down the line when your 8th friend asks you to attend a gender reveal party and you're like, can I just tell them I'm on tour?
It is one of those things where you've been doing it for so long, and we're so happy for you guys to be able to kind of go off the way that you want to, because we know it's super rare for a lot of artists to do that. So congratulations on the success for the past 19 years.
And can you just play breakneck speed in November when you're here? That's my only request. I'm sure you will, but
there's a good chance.
Taken. We'll do it.
All right, there you go. Varsity. Just for you, Alex. So again, Varsity Theater, November 1st. We are giving away tickets when you listen to us. So make sure you keep listening, and we can't wait to see you guys. Tickets still available. Thanks for joining us, both guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. There you go. That is Stacey and Hutch. Say Too Much with, of course, Tokyo Police Club. It's going to be a great show. So
they still haven't confirmed my tickets for that either.
Oh,
I need to.
Buy them if you want.
Huh?
You can just buy them if you want.
I will end up having to.
Okay. There you go.
I used to listen to them back when I would listen. Went through a phase with the Strokes.
Oh yeah.
At Interpol, and there was the same vibe.
All right, we will see you guys next time. It's Stacey and Hutch. Say Too Much. Bye.